Mars Hill University, helping you move your mountain.
Mars Hill University gives me plenty of degrees to choose from.
At MHU, I get the attention I deserve.
MHU keeps me close to home, and there's tons to do in the mountains.
Over 60 courses of study, small class settings, a breathtaking campus. These are just a few examples of how MHU can help you start moving your mountain. Visit us today at mhu.edu. Mars Hill University, education that moves mountains.
Hello, Lion fans, and welcome to this special video. Joining me today is head men's soccer coach Gregg Munn. Coach, it's been one heck of a year. Let's talk about it. Lions going into the SAC tournament for the third time in 5 years. The regular season, quite successful. Your overall thoughts on the performance by the team?
Yeah, definitely. Happy to still be playing at this point in the season, and that's been a goal with the group. All through the year is that we wanted to be pushing in the right direction in the postseason, and we're definitely doing that. So, as a season as a whole, we've been happy with the progress of the group, the competitiveness of the group, the way we've developed and managed to really start to put it together, week by week, month by month. We're still a little bit off of where we want to be, but we're definitely trending in the right direction, and thankful that it's started to really come together at the right time of the year. So there's been some really good highs, and there's been a couple of lows as the seasons went through, but we're happy with the progress, and it's been an exciting year. So we're thankful that we're still playing, and hopefully we can continue that.
We look at the standings throughout the regular season, and it seemed like every night one team would start in 8th, maybe jump to 4th, but by the end of the night they'd be back in 7th. It was just so tight, and we'll talk more about that during the quarterfinal action, and we'll jump right into it. For us, Lions at one point were 8th. I think after the senior day win, we're up to 5th, fell down to 7th, and then eventually slotted in at the 6th spot. So a lot of jumbling going on, but you go on the road, take on Lenoir-Rhyne last Saturday evening, come away with a big 2-1 overtime victory. Sebastian Bertelsen opens the scoring by banking a ball off of a Lenoir-Rhyne defender in the first half. Moments later, a penalty is awarded to Lenoir-Rhyne. They convert. It's 1-1, and that's how we go into the overtime frame. Going into that overtime, Coach, what are your thoughts? What did you see from the team that you liked, and what were some things that you really wanted to address going into those extra frames?
Yeah, I think it just sums up the year as a whole, the way the quarterfinals kind of unfolded. We knew going into the game it was going to be tight, small margins, and coming up against a very good Lenoir-Rhyne team that we had just played a couple of weeks previous. So we knew it was going to be tight. We knew that there wasn't going to be a whole lot of chances, but the chances that we were going to have, we had to take. But going into the overtime, that's something that we had prepared for in terms of just our preparation through the whole year, especially early on in the year, knowing that we've got to be prepared mentally and physically for the run that we might have to make come the postseason. So the guys have been prepared for that. We spoke about, listen, you guys have trained, and we've got you guys in a spot where overtime shouldn't phase us, and as long as we continue to do what we need to do and follow instructions and just keep the margins tight, all we need is one chance. And obviously we skated on ice a little bit with a couple of chances that LR had because of the quality that they have, there's no doubt, but that one chance that fell for us, we capitalised, and we ended the game and booked our place in the semi-final.
You mentioned the chances and just needing one, and that's essentially what it did boil down to. Lenoir-Rhyne came out on fire in those first 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Had some great opportunities. Brendan Whalen, big saves throughout the second half and duration of that first overtime. About a minute and a half left. There's a turnover around midfield. Sebastian Bertelsen lost arguably maybe the best pass he's made in his career. I've rewatched that goal dozens of times now, and just the pace, the lob, everything that went into it was just perfect on that end. Lenoir-Rhyne goalkeeper comes out. Peter Plowman heads it over the goalkeeper. I think he might even lose the header, but because the defender falls down, Plowman stays on his feet, runs to the ball, wide open cage, sends the Lions to the semis for the first time since 2014. Transitioning from the goal to the two players that we mentioned, Sebastian Bertelsen, Peter Plowman. You and I have talked off camera a lot about the similarities between both players, and the similarities continue as they were members of the All-SAC conference teams. Mm-hmm. Sebastian Bertelsen and defender Jeppe Christensen All SAC first team selections, Peter Plowman, Cavante Willoughby Williams, second team selections, and Willoughby Williams named Freshman of the Year. Let's shift our focus away from the team, but to these individuals and what they brought, and kind of seeing that senior leadership get rewarded, but also that next squad coming up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, both those guys have been extremely influential, to our success this fall, along with a number of other guys as well. But where we have changed a lot is just our attacking presence. So that's obviously been down to Sebastian having a very strong season, both in terms of goals and assists, but not having to carry that weight himself. And that's been something that he's had to do a number of times, over the past couple of years. And now we've got a squad or a front three that can really deliver in a number of different ways. And there's a lot of similarities between Sebastian and Peter, just in terms of their size and athleticism and their mentality. But to have someone like Cavante in there as well, just they all complement each other in a number of different ways, and I think that's shown in terms of just the points they've racked up and the goals and impact that they've all made. But as well as that, you've got Yeppe in the back line, who's been instrumental in terms of just locking down our defence, which is still a very young back line. So it was great to see him be rewarded with a first team All SAC award, because he definitely deserves it. He's not only a top player, but a top character and a great student athlete as well. So those four guys have been excellent. But we've really came together as a team, and I think that's probably the biggest thing that I look at right now. Is as much as we have a lot of really good individual talent, none of that matters if we don't play as a team. And I think what we see in this group is a good group of guys that have gelled together and are all kind of playing for the jersey. There's going to be individual accolades, and there's going to be guys get highlighted out, but at the same time the team is doing well right now, and I think the guys are improving. Guys are seeing the difference that they can make when they play together, and for us that's a really positive sign, not just for now but moving forward.
Saturday ends in Hickory. Lions come away 2-1. Earlier in the afternoon, the number 2 seed Limestone Saints are knocked off by Catawba. On the ride home, Carson Newman's in PKs with Coker. They're the number 1 seed. They get knocked off. When you look at the semifinals, it's the 4, 6, 7, and 8 seeds. It's laid itself out pretty well on paper. Lions taking on Catawba Friday at 8 o'clock at the Matthews Sportsplex in Matthews, North Carolina. Lions came away with a 2-1 victory earlier in the season. What have you seen from Catawba since that point when you're doing your scouting that you need to adjust for come Friday?
Yeah, I mean, there's no secrets in this conference. We have a film exchange for a reason. So the hours and hours of film that we've watched on every team, lays it out. So there's not going to be any major surprises. So for Catawba, they've been a team that are very resilient. They're going to be well organised, especially from a defensive standpoint. Their coach is a mentor of mine and a good friend, and he's someone that has tons and tons of experience. So they're going to be well coached from that standpoint. And they have a group that do have some older guys as well, so they bring a level of maturity to their game that they're going to limit mistakes, and they're going to try and make the game very difficult. But playing at Matthews on a neutral site in the semi-final, the atmosphere is going to be a little bit different than it was a couple of weeks ago here. And we had 1 or 2 guys out that day, and so did they. So what we think we're going to get from them is an extremely tough game, a very physical game, a very competitive game. I think there'll be goals. I very much doubt it's going to be a 0-0. I hope it's not going to be, but I think it's going to be an exciting one for Lions fans, Catawba Indians fans, and anyone in between.
In the semis for the first time since 2014, you were a player last time Lions were in the semifinals. Now as a coach, has that really sunk in that you've been able to see it from both perspectives now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, looking back at my experience here as a player, we were very successful, and it was unbelievable experiences. But the standard each year was to play in the SAC tournament. The standard each year was to try and make it into the national tournament. So, what I've tried to do is bring a level of determination and a level of expectation to this program again, that we should be there, and that should be the minimum expectation each year. So to be back in that environment, to be playing for something, not just this weekend, but if we can push forward from this weekend, you know, we still have an outside chance of playing in that national tournament, which we've not been there since 2012. And you know, again, that would be an unbelievable experience for our guys. But you know, the focus right now is Friday. The focus is making sure that we are prepared first and foremost. You know, the guys are in good spirits, but they understand that we've not done anything yet, and we want to make sure that we stay humble, and we continue to try and push in the right direction. And you know, it was great on Saturday because we gave our seniors an extra week. You know, and we have, you know, 6 seniors here that, you know, put a lot of time and effort in this program, especially the guys that have been here for 5 years. So we want to make sure that we can give those guys as a longer run as possible, and we've done that this past Saturday, and we hope to continue that on Friday.
Coach of the Year in the spring, first 10-win season since 2012, first semifinal appearance since 2014. Certainly on that uphill climb and trending upward for sure. Lions take on Catawba, 8 o'clock Friday evening. Live stat and video links will be available on MarsHillLions.com. If you're able to make it out to Matthews, North Carolina, it is at the Matthews Sportsplex. Coach, thank you for taking the time and doing this, and nothing but the best moving forward.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I just did not have a lot of stability.
I was facing foreclosure.
Not working at all, didn't have any money.
I could not go to school and work, so I found Mars Hill.
The experience here has been so wonderful.
It's been amazing.
I was able to have the full-time hours without the full-time load.
They are just incredibly supportive.
And Mars Hill is very affordable.
Mars Hill University Adult and Graduate Studies. Education that moves mountains.
I will be the first in my family to graduate with my bachelor's degree.